am not sure if anybody else is going to come. And the purpose of this is to really expose people to one single thing that you can take into your life going forward. I don't know if anybody's got pen and paper with them. It's not really necessary because we're just going to go through a little process. I'm going to share with you an analogy to use going forward. And that analogy is fire. Okay, so fire, when it comes to manifesting, has so much richness and so much significance that I've decided to use it as my themes going forward when it comes to manifestation. And that's why I go, let's get lit, because it's really about being lit from the inside. So I'm using fire as a metaphor for energy, for focus, for clarity. And the reason why we're doing this is because fire symbolizes energy, right? It's combustion. It's what brings things to life. It's what makes things burn. So whatever we give attention to grows. And so that's positive, or which is your passion and your purpose and so on, or whether it's negative, and that's fear and doubt. So fire is a transformative force. So just like it can consume and reshape, fire actually represents the ability to transform your desires from within into reality in manifestation. So it's really about burning away limitations. It's about the burning away of fears and obstacles and allowing the new beginnings to emerge. Here in South Africa, we have what we call felt fires. If we don't have the felt fires, then the pods don't burst open, and the beautiful fauna on our mountains doesn't grow. So we need fire. So it is really a catalyst for growth, and it can help to ignite a lot of change and then move away that stagnant energy. Fire is living, breathing, moving, burning. It's constantly in motion. So I want you to just check in with yourself now and just see, what fire are you feeding in your life right now? Is it one that empowers you, or is it one that consumes you? If you think about the majority of your time, where is your focus going right now? Where is your fire being fueled? And just think about how much time you spend fueling that fire each day. For a very long time, a couple of years back, I was fueling the wrong fire and just noticing the lack and the fear and the doubt and the self-hatred, really. I think we've all gone through that period in our lives where we feel like we are not the best version of ourselves. And so I was fueling that so much that I was blind to the things that I was to become, that the things that were inside that wanted to come and manifest. So the purposeful change comes when you realize that you're fueling the wrong fire, and it can become a bonfire as well and can burn you out completely. So we're going to use fire as an explanation of a beautiful inner force that we're going to use for positive purpose for this particular tool that we're going to give you going forward. So it's about that inner flame that makes you take those bold steps so that you can be committed to your dreams. So clarity and vision is something that fire also provides. It's light, right? So metaphorically, fire illuminates the path ahead. And it offers clarity, and it helps you see through your true desires. And it also guides you towards your purpose. So it can burn through all that confusion, burn through all the doubts in your path, leaving only the truth of what you really, really want. So when we use fire metaphorically as the spark of creation, when we go back and we look at traditions, fire is often associated with the beautiful creative force of the universe, the Big Bang, fires. It represents the moments where ideas and intentions burst into life, and where the desires are ignited and they start to manifest into reality. So fire also symbolizes the need to continually feed your desires with focus, with intention, with positive energy, with fuel and aligned action. So when we look at our awareness and our intentions, the clarity of intention that we have before manifesting let's look at, getting clarity on what it is that we're actually focusing on, allowing the fire to light the way for clarity. And one of the things that I see with a lot of my clients is that they are running away from the thing that they don't want, but they're not clear where they're running to. So it's about making sure that you know what you want in order to shift your attention to that thing. And naturally, what you don't want will fall away, or you will no longer see it. So clarity is insanely important when it comes to manifestation. I'm just going to let somebody else in quickly. They've just arrived. Okay. Hello. I'm not sure who's there, but hi. So let's see. Okay. So we were just on clarity. So what are we focusing? Are we focusing on the smoke of the fire? Are we smoking on the light, or are we using the light of the fire to bring us clarity? So if for example, if you want abundance, but you keep worrying about scarcity, then you're stoking that fire of lack instead of the fire of prosperity. So let's get lit with prosperity, right? So the types of fires that we have in manifestation is the fire of passion and purpose, or the fire of fear and doubt. So we have a choice in where we want to spend our thoughts in terms of which fire we want to stoke. So energy flows where your attention goes. And this is why it's so important that you're going to stoke the fire of passion and purpose purposefully and intentionally when you notice that you've been stoking the fire of fear and doubt. So how that would look in a normal day is you kind of need to do regular check-ins with yourself. So you're going to go, at 9 o'clock. What fire have I been stoking this morning? Is it the fire of fear and doubt? Or is it the fire of purpose and passion? And you can notice by the way that you feel which fire you've been stoking, and purposefully change your thoughts to the desire and the deadlines and the goals and the beautiful excitement that you have ahead of you, and rather be stoking that. You cannot think of both at the same time. The fire of fear and doubt and the fire of passion and purpose cannot be burning at the same time. If we look inside how we operate, we can only really focus on one thing at a time. So if we're focusing on fear and doubt, we forget about the passion and purpose fire. And therefore, you want to be purposefully and mindfully unhooking from the fire of fear and doubt and hooking into the fire of purpose and passion. And your thoughts are the fuel. We have so many thoughts going through our head every single day. And many of them are just purely, subconscious. They're routine. They're our habits, the things that we just do without even thinking. But where our true power really steps in is where we notice where we're at and purposefully shift that. That is why living an intentional life is so rich, because it means stopping yourself. I know that Mike Dooley often gives the analogy of a skateboard at the top of the hill. And he's going, like, where is it easier to hop off the skateboard? At the top of the hill, or middle of the hill, or when you're about to hit the sea at the bottom? Where is it easiest to jump off, right? It's easiest at the top. So it's about becoming aware of, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? I'm going to go that way. But you have to have formed that way. And this is where people get stuck with manifestation. They just know what they don't want, but they don't know what they do want. So the fear of fire and doubt is raging over here. And this little one is burning with tiny little embers, trying to catch light. And the universe sometimes sends down a little thunderbolt, and then we don't fan that. So we are being fed all the time. And the thing is that our own thoughts is what's going to stop us from actually going there. So we have to purposefully take the steps to do that every day with checking in with ourselves. Now, the next step would then be taking, aligned action. We've got clear on what the desire is. We've been stoking that fire. It's burning a beautiful bonfire. And now we want to take action. Now, all you have to do is take one tiny physical manifestation and the universe will meet you. If it stays in your head, nothing's going to happen. Got to take action. And this is where all the law of attraction teachers sometimes leave out the critical step of a tiny action towards the thing that you desire. So what could that look like? What could that fuel be for your fire? Well, if you were starting a business, it could be you starting to look at what color schemes you would like for your logo. It could be looking for a domain name for your website. It could be doing some research. Who's doing what I'm doing? What are they doing? What would I be offering? It's tiny actions like that. You don't have to go and spend a fortune. You can just start with the little actions and start telling people what it is that you want to be doing so that the universe can open up all those doors for you to bring what it is that you want. So, how you support the life you want to create is by stepping out in action, stepping towards the fire, to feel the heat, to feel the passion. Okay, so, the fire of procrastination and doubt is a third little fire, also burning by itself. So we want to put that fire out by taking small aligned action steps. Now, we don't have to completely know all our steps because we never really know how we're going to get to the end result. But if we take one step towards that, you are already 10,000 steps ahead. So, no one is really going to have things manifest for them when you're lying on your couch watching Netflix. It's not going to happen. So action is about just doing one small thing each day. So let's check in. Which fire are we stoking right now? Are you starting to get the idea that it would be good to check in every couple of hours on what fire you're stoking, where you could purposefully and intentionally move it? What energy are you currently feeling? Where are you nurturing your fire of abundance? Where are you nurturing your fire of health? Who's wanting to set an intention today that you can put some fuel on?
Lisa, I like to take one step forward. That's a lot of times we just get stuck here.
Yes, exactly.
And so I've been trying to challenge myself to make sure I can do one step a day, and I write it in my calendar so that I can go back and check and see, oops, I haven't done something today. Otherwise, I'm not honest to myself. I just get stuck right here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really important, because even if it's just a phone call or just writing a note or 3 things that you want to achieve for the day, it is so much more than having it sitting in here looping around. It's almost like you have things bouncing off the sides of the inside of your head like sparks, and they're not finding a place to land in the fire. So they're just they're not moving. So to actually light the fire, it needs to come out. There needs to be a physical manifestation. And it's the same for emotions. If you're feeling sad or angry or have grief, then the way that we allow those emotions to move through us is to actually have a physical manifestation of it. So if we're sad, we cry. If we're happy, we laugh. If we feel love, we hug. If we're happy, we smile. If we feel rage, many of us suppress, and the fire burns inside us. So, all these things need to come out. There needs to be one physical manifestation, and then it simply passes through you. So, action is important, even if it sometimes feels like it's wrong, that other people might view it as wrong. Action is important. So shifting that fire with intention how to shift your focus quickly is a superpower. So I was talking earlier about noticing when you are looping with and feeding that fire of fear and doubt, and being able to stop and pivot to the fire of passion and power. So how you would do that is to stop, perhaps visualize, perhaps have something in front of you that reminds you of the desire and the passion and the outcome that you want. You know, for many of my clients, they will use a symbol. So all their desires are packed into a symbol, like a butterfly or a stone or a smell even, just to pivot away from fueling the incorrect fire. So have maybe 3 things handy that can help you pivot quickly. So maybe it's a screensaver, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a photo of someone that you love, but it's just about getting your attention away from that fire and putting it into another fire. So I call it ditch and switch. Ditch what you're busy with and switch to the other thing. If you can do that often, you basically rewire your brain waves or your brain patterns to start thinking in the correct way. So it's about undoing the old way of thinking and starting a new way of thinking. So shifting that fire with intention, think about how you can keep 3 things at hand to help you switch to the fire of purpose and passion. So I'd like you to now just think about 2 fires that you'd like to stoke. I want you to think about an immediate fire in the coming 2 weeks. And I want you to think about a fire that's in a year's time that you want to start stoking. So let's think of those dreams and desires and put them down. I know what I've got that I'm going to be fueling. And just get clear on it. Just write it down right now. Commit to it right now. And think about 1 small action step that you can take towards the short-term one and the long-term one starting tomorrow.
Sorry, I have a question. So when you
Yes.
say nurturing fires, does that mean like goals or like visions you have?
Yes. So if you have, most of us have got an inner drive that there's something that we want to achieve, and we'll always be on that path of looking for things to achieve. So it can be a relationship or a work, something creative or a career move of some kind, anything where you feel that it's going to put you in a better, excited, happier space. That's the fire that I'm talking about.
Oh, perfect.
For Ayanda, for most people, they are just sticking with the fire of fear and doubt and not knowing what it is that they're wanting to be moving towards. And that's what we want to try and do here, is to start stoking the fire of the thing you want to move towards so that you can leave behind the thing that you've been looping in and repetitive. It's got so worn that it has to change. So bringing in a new way of doing it can help you change. So
thank you so much.
That's a pleasure. So to be clear on the fire that you're feeding, to check in on which fire you're feeding, and what type of energy you are nurturing that fire with. That's really, really important. The things that fuel those fires are your thoughts, your focus, and your actions.
So what would be the best way to stop overthinking if you have just too many thoughts running in your mind almost every single minute of the day?
Yes.
What practiced or practical examples would you suggest a person does to help eliminate that so that they can start nurturing these fires?
So the way to stop thinking something is to think a new thought. And it sounds very glib to say that, but and the point is that you need to notice when you're overthinking and in the same space. Many, many times you need to actually just stop thinking altogether and get back into the body. Because if you find yourself looping in your mind all the time, it's about reconnecting with your inner spirit, which is generally body-led. The mind is kind of the stupid part of us, if you don't mind me saying. You know, our entire being is massive, and the mind is so layered with conditioning and limiting beliefs and things that we've experienced that it's going to stop us at so many turns. So we then have to kind of get back into our connection with ourselves. So overthinking, if you've been doing it a lot, and you've noticed you start to overthink, it's about getting back into the body, having a minor reset in the body. So it would be like going for a walk, doing something creative with your hands, just to get you out of mind into body. And then once you're there, to start thinking about the things that put a smile on your face, that you're excited about, that you want to bring into being. So for many, you can just stop what you're thinking and then think of the new things. So you would have your 3 things close at hand that you could then focus on, even if it's just for 18 seconds, because that's actually what you really want to achieve, is to move from one to the other as soon as you notice that you are fueling the wrong fire. I'm not answering your question. I'm giving you a lot of words, but I just want to make sure that the concept is.
Oh, yes, you are. You are definitely answering my question. Thank you.
Okay, great. So for many, the tools that you need to bring into your life for stoking the fire of your desire are guided visualizations. So what I'd like you to experience now is a guided visualization. I'm sure that all of you do that, but I'm going to guide you through a particular one related to fire. Okay, so what we want to do right now is just to get into the body, right? So we're going to take a few moments just to kind of feel ourselves sitting in our chair, however you're sitting, maybe you're lying down, and just center yourself and just feel yourself getting just sort of nuzzling down into the chair that you're in, and then connecting very deeply to your breath. So you're going to take a nice big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and just noticing your breath now. So I'm inviting you to just close your eyes now and start to relax your body. And keeping those cleansing breaths going in and out and focusing on the air going in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we'll quickly do our body scan. Just notice any tension in the shoulders. You're going to release that. Tension in your neck and your chest. And just let this wave of relaxation go all the way through your body, right down to your toes, and feel your toes sort of just tingling and touching the ground and just feeling safe and stable. And now I want you to imagine yourself standing in a quiet, open space, and in front of you is a fire pit. And in this fire pit, there is a small flickering flame. And this flame represents your desires. Now, your deepest passions are there. Your dreams and the things you want most in life are there, just flickering, just waiting for you. And take a moment to connect with this flame and watch how it flickers gently, knowing that it holds this amazing energy, the potential energy in this flame of all your desires, all your goals, and everything you deeply want to manifest. It's the seed of your potential that's there in front of you. And with each breath you take, imagine that you're feeding this flame, and as you inhale, feel yourself drawing in the positive energy, clarity, and focus. And as you exhale, visualize this energy flowing from your heart into the flame, making it stronger and brighter. And with each breath, the fire grows. It starts to burn more brightly. It glows with warmth and power. This fire is your passion. It's your purpose. And see it rise higher. Every doubt, every fear, every worry is melting away in the heat of this growing flame. And now in your mind's eye, picture one specific desire or goal you have and see it clearly. Maybe it's more abundance. Maybe it's a fulfilling relationship. Or maybe it's really vibrant health. Whatever it is, imagine yourself standing before this fire, holding that desire in your hands. Now with deep intention, imagine placing that desire into the heart of the fire and watch as it merges with the flames, transforming it into pure energy. And feel the warmth and the strength of the fire as it stokes your desires and making it real and possible and powerful. And the fire is now fully alive. It burns with the energy of all your desires and you're in control of its growth. And take a moment to feel what it's like to know that this fire is always within you, ready to be fueled with your intention, your focus, your actions. You are in control. And breathe in deeply, feeling your connection to this fire. And breathe out, releasing any remaining doubts. And know that this flame will continue to burn, guiding you, fueling your actions, and bringing your desires into reality. Feel the warmth, the heat, and the passion building for that thing that you're wanting. And get lit with that fire. And when you're ready, slowly bring your awareness back to where you're sitting, back to your space, back to your body, and wiggling your fingers and toes. And when it feels right, simply open your eyes. So remember now that this fire is always there for you to stoke whenever you are ready to feed your desires. Okay. So which fire are we going to stoke from now? Passion, purpose, power. You're in control. Okay, everybody. That was us. Ayanda.
Now, what is the fire of power?
Well,
What
it's
do you mean by that?
the fire within us. We've got the power, purpose, passion, all the things that we have that will help us reach our goals and the things we want to manifest.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. Carla, I see you're all mute.
Yes, I wanted to acknowledge what Leanne put in the chat about shaking her hands out as if shaking the negative thoughts. I love that. I made a note of that. I'm going to start that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, releasing the old energy. Amazing. Good. So it's been wonderful to have you with me on the screen. And I look forward to seeing what comes out of your spirit, the desires, because we have spent so much time, looking at the things that are kind of wrong in our existence. And now we need to spend a lot more time focusing on what is right and what we want. Just in closing, I often share with my clients a ratio. So in business, we often get asked, like, where do we spend our energy? Now, what is the best way to spend our energy? And most of the time, there's the 70-20-10 rule. So you would normally spend 70% of your energy on your day-to-day stuff. You get to, so if it was in real life, you'd be washing the dishes and, cleaning up behind yourself and getting yourself ready for work and showering. So you spend 70% of your day on that. 20% of your day needs to be spent on forward planning, or we call it future proofing when I'm doing business coaching. If you can spend 20% of your day thinking about which new clients you'd like to attract, for instance, or what new products you want to bring in, or whatever goals you want to achieve in the next coming weeks. And then you've got the 10%, which is your future, so your far future. And if you can kind of use the same ratio for your life, just allowing yourself to be 70% busy on the day-to-day stuff, because that is stuff we need to do, and to give yourself 20% and 10% to focus on the immediate future and to focus on the far future. That is a really good guideline. And you will notice that, maybe 90% of the day you were spending it on the day-to-day stuff and forgetting to forward plan and create your desires and what you want to bring into reality. We can get so stuck on the day-to-day stuff. And what I recommend is scheduling time to actually do that for yourself. So to actually sit, for a couple of hours every week to go, 20% of my time I want to think about what it is I want to bring in, what action can I take to bring that in. And then the long-term goal is just to spend some time investigating what could that look like, how could it feel, and to take action towards that as well. Okay, so I want to leave you with that. And I shall then to see. I didn't get a chance to look at the chat. So would you say using counter affirmations? So the things, counter affirmations, like as in the opposite of what it is that you're feeling. Yeah. Do you mean like opposing? Do you mean more?
Yes, you were talking about we're talking about overthinking.
Yes.
So when you go and say a negative train of I never have enough time, something I use is I'm always in the right place at the right time. I have enough time to do everything I need with ease and grace. So that's what I was meaning in things that you can do to counteract. And then when that's too much and it's too much of a heavy thing that I'm thinking, then I just shake the shit out of my hands.
100%. Yes. So, and for some people, saying the opposite, basically, or, saying they're experiencing maybe a moment of lack and they're struggling to pay a bill, then it would be really hard for them to move to, I am so abundant, then they would need to detach and find something really easy. So it could be something like, everything is always going my way. It's not too specific. The broader you make it, the more fun it becomes, rather than getting really specific, because specificity can create resistance. And when you create resistance, it's not going to come. Okay, the answer disappeared, but that's fine. Any other questions? By the way, everything is always going for me is one of the most powerful statements ever, because that covers literally everything in your life. I want to know who's behind iPhone 13. I've got this.
Also ask a question, because when you said, what fire do you want to lit up?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I couldn't even jumble my thoughts into, okay, what is it that I want?
Yes.
How would you suggest I take the step to even just single out the things that I would want?
Okay, so do you see now that
I didn't even know what I wanted, like the firepower.
Yeah. So you could there's a beautiful way of looking at your life in segments. You could look at, what do I want in my relationships? What do I want in my career? What do I want in my spirituality? How do I feel about my money? And you can take, there's maybe like 8 different aspects of your life that you can take, and you can rate them out of 10. Where am I at? In like, how confident do I feel with my money? And when you find you're like below a 5 out of 10 on something, then you know that that's an area of your life that you could possibly work on. And then you can start diving down, well, you know, what would I need to get myself to a 7 out of 10? So I'm loving this because, you know, it seems like you're going, oh, wow, hang on a sec. I've been, you know, looking at what is and not spending enough time on what could be. So I'm loving that. I know really,
Yeah.
there's going to be an amazing work done here. Helen Tokozo,
Thank you so much.
nice to meet you, Tokozo. Do you have any questions? You're welcome to put it in the chat if it's difficult to go on audio. Okay. Okay, all good. Our time is done. So we are going to say goodbye. Thank you so much. There is a free gift that I'm going to be sending you in your email about today's session, and I will share it with you. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you all. And it's been so fun. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye.